take a look at Exhibit 66. The column I underline on your right-hand side.
Yes.
Can you read that?
Former President Babangida, who commuted their sentences to 5 years imprisonment, was there and he wept openly when he saw the extent of genocide. He wept furiously.
Yes, and that the decree, section 2, subsection 2 of the civil servants decree gives Babangida, who was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces,
Yes.
the right to constitute the tribunals that tried you.
Yes.
And that same Babangida that wept furiously, according to the advertorial of Alhaji Abubakar Zango.
Exactly.
Do you expect to have justice in such tribunals?
That was why we were not given justice.
Yes.
Or one of the reasons.
And General,
Yes, my lord.
you have read the advertorials of Alhaji Abubakar Zango in
Yes.
the various newspapers.
Yes, my lord.
What can you say about the advertorials?
They are provocative. They assaulted my integrity,
Yes.
besmirred my name. And all I can say is, as their counsel indicated here, I should go back to prison. That is a misdirection of their missiles. I have never been the problem. I'm a responsible man who has served this country with dedication to the best of my ability. And since I retired, they will know that I have done so much to contribute to their return and to the return of their farms. But as to why they are placating me is what I don't know.
Major General Zamani Lekwot was born on 19th July 1944. He is a retired Nigerian Army Major General who served as a military governor of Rivers State, Nigeria from July 1975 until July 1978 during the military administrations of General Murtala Mohammed and Olusegun Obasanjo. General Lekowt attended the prestigious Nigerian Military School for his secondary education before he entered the Army on 11th July 1962 and attended the Nigerian Military Training College, Kaduna, and the Indian Military Academy, gaining his commission on 14th July 1966. He was a company commander in the 6th Battalion when he took over in the battle that caused the fall of Bonny on 26th and 27th of July 1967 during the Nigerian Civil War. He was the commander 33 Infantry Brigade, Maiduguri, in 1975 before he assumed the military governorship of Rivers State. During his military career, Lekwot also served as Commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy, General Officer Commanding 82 Composite Division, Nigeria Army, and Ambassador High Commissioner to the Republics of Senegal, Mauritania, Cape Verde, and the Gambia. The 2 Brigade Nigerian Army Barracks in Port Harcourt, Rivers State was named the Zamani Lekowt Cantonment in his honor. In August 2003, it was renamed the Port Harcourt Barracks. Lekwot fell out with General Ibrahim Babangida and was forced to retire on 31st December 1985 after Babangida became Chief of Staff following the military coup of 31st December 1983 that brought General Muhammadu Buhari to power. On 15th May 1992, violence erupted between the mainly Muslim Hausa and mainly Christian Atiap communities of the Zango-Kataf local government area in Kaduna State over trading and land ownership rights, with many deaths. A tribunal set up by the Babangida government sentenced Lekwot and 16 others to death for alleged complicity in the killings. Sentences eventually reduced to a short gaol sentence. It was said that his sentence was due to his feud with Babangida. He was assisted in his prolonged battle to avoid execution by Barrister Colonel Yohana Madaki. By 1995 December, Lekwot had received a state pardon. General Zamani Lekwot was in January 2014 honored by the Agwatiap, the traditional ruler of Atiap chiefdom, Engineer Dr. Harrison Y. Bugwon, with the title Agwabin, meaning guardian of the land. In this episode of Oputa Panel, Major General Zamani Lekwot has petitioned the General Ibrahim Babangida government, stating violations of his fundamental human rights. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, drop us a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.
And without reason, and taken to the Kaduna prison.
Was when you give me your own copy of that is thing. I can't find that one from page 1. This and that. You give me too many photocopies of this. Yes, you can have that. Yes. That's drafted. You've given me already just this. The one that you gave me. This one, this. I only have. No, we did something we did this morning. I've got a copy of what we did this morning. Go and ask him. I'm giving his own copy. Yes. I gave him put it on top of it. Yes. No.
You are still on your oath. Time is 20 to 12. You have 20 to 1.
Right. You had come to the first trial that you had. Now, when that trial commenced, the 12 witnesses gave evidence on behalf of the prosecution.
Correct.
Right. And the prosecution closed their case.
Correct.
Now, what happened after that?
After they closed their case, we started our defense.
You started the
Yes.
With whom did you start your defense?
I was the first accused.
You were the first, and you are the first defense witness.
Yes, my lord.
You gave evidence and you were cross-examined.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Now, how many witnesses in all had given evidence for the defense?
9.
9 witnesses had given evidence for the defense.
Yes, my lord.
Yes. And at that stage, what happened?
At that stage, the Attorney General of the Federation suddenly applied a nolle prosequi, terminating the case. On that basis, we were discharged, but were immediately rearrested without a warrant and without reason.
Yes.
And taken to the Kaduna prison.
Right. Okay. Was before you were discharged, did your lawyers say anything about what should be done, whether you should be discharged or discharged and acquitted?
Yes, my lord. Our lawyers made the point to the tribunal that in view of the fact that the prosecution had concluded their case and we were successfully carrying out our own, what was logically left was for the case to be concluded. But instead, they terminated the case and rearrested us.
Yes. Your lawyers maintained that since so much evidence had been given on both sides,
Yes, my lord.
if the prosecution was withdrawing, what should be done was to
Discharge and acquit
for you
us.
to be discharged and acquitted.
Yes, my lord.
And that the prosecution be not given another opportunity to restart the case again and bring other witnesses.
On the same facts.
Right.
Yes, my lord.
And the tribunal ruled
Against us.
against you. And so what happened?
Yes, I have already stated we were rearrested and taken to the Kaduna prison.
Right. Now, Look at this bundle of documents. It is a motion on notice filed before the Kaduna High Court, but it contains the record of proceedings of the first trial from beginning to end with all the witnesses who gave evidence. Have a look at it. Have you got your own copy of it?
Yes, my lord, is the one.
I seek to tender it, my lord.
Mark it 50, exhibit 50.
Yes. And the proceedings commences at page 19, does it not, of that record, exhibit? From pages 19 to 58. And
I don't want to interrupt, but are we a court of appeal?
no.
Well, what all this meant to be?
No.
We cannot vary what the judge who conducted the trial. We can't annul it.
Yes.
What are we being asked to do?
What your commission has been asked to do is to note that what happened in this case, after a first trial had virtually been completed, defense witness giving evidence, the government now discontinues that case and then starts.
We can gather all this from the records.
I beg your pardon?
We can gather all these from the records.
Yes,
His evidence doesn't add or subtract from the records.
Yes, but we will help you. That's why I'm just directing your attention to where that record is in the bundle. I gave your lordship a large bundle.
Oh, thank you very much, but we can read it too.
Right, okay.
We can read it.
Yes, I'm just trying to show where to read and what to read, sir. That is all. I don't want your time wasted. I don't want mine wasted also. But I should direct your attention to what happened.
In your address, yes.
Yes.
In your address.
Yes.
You quote the relevant pages. In the address, I accept that one. But not from the witness.
My lord, your courts have decided that if we bring a bundle of documents to any court, we must refer to specific sections of it upon which we want to rely.
In the address.
As
yes.
your lordship pleases. Now, so where's that my bottle? So after that trial, the second trial was started.
Yes, my lord.
Right. The accused persons were more or less the same.
Yes, my lord.
Right. And the charges which are shown on that exhibit relate to the same set of facts.
Yes, my lord.
But you are now charged with culpable homicide.
Homicide, yes, my lord.
Right. So what you then did, what your lawyers did then, you applied to the Kaduna State High Court
for leave to grant us the opportunity to enforce our fundamental right.
Yes, that the second trial, amongst other things, amounted to an infringement on our fundamental rights.
Yes, my lord.
Is that? Yes. Right. So the Kaduna State High Court granted you leave to
enforce that right.
Right. Holding that you had made a prima facie case.
Correct.
Right. Then did the judge grant then you asked for a stay of the proceedings of a credible tribunal until your rights were determined.
Correct, so that damage is not done.
Yes, okay. Did the court agree to that, to grant that stay?
They refused.
Right. So what did you do?
We went to the Court of Appeal, Federal Court of Appeal, to pursue that right also.
Right. And when you got to the Court of Appeal, the government, federal government, raised a preliminary objection.
Yes, my lord.
That the courts have no jurisdiction.
To
the
entertain
jurisdiction of the courts have been ousted.
by a decree.
And the High Court had no jurisdiction to hear your petition.
Yes, my lord.
Right. And then the Court of Appeal, by a majority of 2-1, agreed with the
Government position.
government position. And there was a dissenting judgment.
Correct, my lord.
Right. Now, so you appealed against that decision. Now, where is that copy?
I've already admitted this exhibit 51. That's a Court of Appeal records.
Court of Appeal records.
Exhibit 51.
Yes. But
Same time, I've admitted it already.
yes. Is the judgment of, the dissenting judgment that I want to refer to? I don't think it is part of it.
Exhibit 652. They're both.
Right. Now, look at page 19 of Exhibit 52. Pages, on pages
18?
18 and 19
Yes, my lord.
of the judgment of Akpabio,
Yes, my lord.
JCA.
Yes, my lord.
Now, briefly, read to his
Mark
lord.
that 52. Target if it's from the same. If it's the same with Exhibit 51, mark the page, relevant page, Exhibit 52.
You have it. You have Exhibit 52.
Here is a copy, sir.
Yes. That 52
52 then.
is the judgment of Akpabio. Page, give me another copy. Give me another.
18.
Page 18. There, Justice Akpabio was reviewing the arguments on jurisdiction of the courts, having regard to the ouster clauses
Of the decree.
of Decree number 1 of 1984.
Yes, sir.
Now, yes, can you read it to us very briefly? Give me another copy. Give me another copy.
I have carefully considered the above arguments of learned senior advocates on both sides, and I must say that the provision of Section 5 of the revised edition Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, Decree number 1990, otherwise Decree number 21 of 1990, already reproduced above, has brought a new complexion into the whole case. I must state quite frankly that before our attention was drawn to that action of the law, section of the law, I beg your pardon, I was of the view that the cross appeal could succeed under Cap 137, while it could have failed under Cap 53. That was because from the wordings of Cap 53 already reproduced supra, it was only things done by the tribunal under the Act that could not be inquired into, whereas things done by the head of state in setting up the tribunal could be inquired into. In other words, while the courts should not question the validity of any judgment, verdict, sentence, or any other thing done by the tribunal, it nevertheless could inquire into whether the tribunal was properly constituted under the law that gave its existence. To that extent, the submission of the cross appellants under Cap 5.3 of the laws could have failed. But I had held that the submission under Cap 137 could have succeeded, as Section 1 sub 2b of the said Act had precluded the courts from even inquiring into the validity of the decree, let alone anything done under it. But Section 5 of the new Decree 21 noted above has completely wiped out all ouster clauses in any act embodied in the 1990 volume of the laws of the Federation. I am sure that this provision of Section 5 of Decree 21 of 1990 took everyone by surprise. Mr. Okolo, the learned senior advocate for the respondents, had no answer to it. The position, therefore, is that as of now, the 1979 correction Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is supreme. No previous decrees embodied in the 1990 volumes of the laws can claim to be superior to it. So, the submission of the respondents under the above issue cannot stand and shall be dismissed. I hold, therefore, that since the application of the applicants was brought at the Kaduna High Court after the promulgation of the new laws of Nigeria 1990, the said High Court had jurisdiction to have entertained the matter. All previous court decisions that gave supremacy to pre-1990 decrees of the federal military government are no longer valid after 1990.
Now, so that was a minority judgment. The majority said the courts had no jurisdiction.
Yes, my lord.
So you appealed to the Supreme Court.
To intervene.
Yes, and you filed a notice of appeal.
Yes, my lord.
Contending that Akpabio's decision, Judge Akpabio's decision
was correct.
Was the correct one.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Now, once that application was pending, that appeal was pending, you applied for stay of proceedings of the Okadibo Tribunal pending the determination of the appeal.
At the Supreme Court, yes, my lord.
At the Supreme Court. Did the Supreme Court, that was in December 1992.
Yes, my lord.
Did the Supreme Court list the application for stay?
They didn't list it.
I see. So that in December or January, Okadibo resumed the second trial.
Correct.
Right. Now, then you know about decree number 55.
Yes, my lord.
Of 1992.
Yes, my lord.
Right. So that decree was then passed to nullify the arguments in Justice Akpabio's judgment.
Correct.
Because it said that all those decrees which had become acts of parliament should now revert to decrees.
Correct.
And it was backdated to
1983.
So that it would cover,
in order to catch us,
the argument that we are going to.
Yes, my lord.
This is an appeal.
Yes, my lord.
Now, so then what happened in the Okadibo Tribunal?
At the Okadibo Tribunal, seeing that decree being promulgated and the implications, our lawyers saw the whole thing as a charade and futile, and therefore refused to be used as tools to deal with innocent people, and so they withdrew.
Yes, okay. So what did the tribunal then do?
The tribunal then asked us our next course of action.
Yes.
And, correction. Yes, they asked us our next course of action. We requested for a day bail in order to hire other lawyers.
Bail for 1 day?
Yes, sir.
To find other lawyers, yes?
He clearly told us that only the government in Abuja could grant bail.
Yes.
Instead, he offered us a lawyer from the floor, whom we didn't know.
Yes.
And of course, considering all that had happened since the trial started, including his hostility towards our lawyers and towards us, we knew that it was a plot by the government that was using Okadibo as a tool, yes, to do us in. So we declined.
Yes. So what happened?
When we declined, he then asked me, the first accused, to defend myself. As I said in my addendum, he couldn't answer my question as to what the implication was. At the end of the day, he told us in open court that whether or not we defended ourselves, he was going to use the case of the prosecution, quoting some section 353 of CPC as his authority to pass judgment. And that was what happened.
That's it. Did he say anything about the no case submission?
Oh yes, he also said so, that our demand for a day's bail to hire other lawyers amounted to no case submission, with particular reference to our refusal to accept his lawyer, which we saw as a Trojan horse in our camp.
Yes. Okay, did any one of you then give evidence or participate in that?
Nobody else gave any evidence.
Yes,
in my syndicate, there were two elderly native people, Marcos Mamang and Yonana Karo.
Yes.
They speak no English up till now.
Yes.
Everything, including the judgment, were done in English,
Yes.
including their own, the sentences passed on them.
Right, okay. So that then on the 3rd of February, 1993, they read their judgment.
Correct.
Right. And with the exception of the second
Accused. All the other 6 of us were condemned to be to death by hanging.
Yes. Now, so you then applied to the Supreme Court to set aside all the proceedings
Of the tribunal.
Of the tribunal,
Yes,
from
my
the
lord.
moment they were served with the motion for stay of proceedings.
Correct.
Until the day of judgment.
Yes, my lord.
Did the Supreme Court list that motion for hearing?
As in the first case, they refused.
Right, okay. As a matter of fact, the first motion for stay of proceedings, motion on notice, motion ex parte, filed in December 1992, was in fact, a hearing notice for it was issued only on the 2nd of June 1993.
Correct, my lord.
Right. And this was what was then served. It was then served on the council.
Yes, my lord.
At that time. Now, was that application even heard on that June?
It wasn't, my lord.
Right. So, in the meantime, do you know of the Constitutional Rights Project?
Yes, my lord.
Now.
An MGO.
Right. A non-governmental organization, Constitutional Rights Project, had in the meantime, in February 1993, laid a complaint on your behalf to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights.
Yes, my lord.
Against the violation of your fundamental human rights.
Yes, my lord.
Eventually, where's your copy? I don't want the original. Eventually, give me a copy. The commission held a hearing.
Yes, my lord.
At which the federal government, although served, did not appear.
Answer. Yes, sir.
You eventually applied through your lawyers for, I don't want to use the original.
A copy of the proceedings.
For a copy of the proceedings and judgment of the African Commission.
Yes, my lord.
Have you got it there? Have you got a copy
Yes, my lord.
of their reply?
I have a copy right here.
Sending the certified true copy.
Yes, my lord.
As well as the letter and the certified true copy.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Will you produce it? With your permission, I already have circulated a copy.
Exhibit 53.
Much obliged.
Yes,
now,
my lord.
Yes, I want you to read, first of all, the letter.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, we use it. If I may be permitted to keep the original, we might want to use it for other things. We have the original here, it can be cited. But these are photocopies. It's all right. So I'm much obliged.
We admit newspapers, how much more?
African Commission on Human and People's Rights, Kairaba Avenue, P.O. Box 673, Banjul, The Gambia. The letter is dated 11th October 1999, addressed, of course, to Chief G.O.K. Ajay. Subject, gross violation of human rights in Zango-Kataf. Dear Chief Ajay, I have the honor to acknowledge receipt of your letter of 9 September 1999 on the above issue. Unfortunately, by our records, we are yet to receive your fax of 24th August 1999. Enclosed, please find a certified true copy of the Commission's decision on communication number 87/93, the Constitutional Rights Project in respect of Zamani, Lekwot, and 6 others versus Nigeria as requested. I believe it will be useful in the presentation of your client's case before the Human Rights Violations Investigation Panel. Yours sincerely, signed Jermaine Bacheko, Secretary to the Commission. And here is the judgment. 87/93, Constitutional Rights Project in respect of Zamani, Lekwot, and 6 others, Nigeria. Article 56.5, where remedies are discretionary, extraordinary, and non-judicial, it would be improper to insist on their being exhausted. Article 7, Section 1A, to foreclose any avenue of appeal to national courts violates this article. Article 7, sub 1C, harassment of counsel such that they were forced to withdraw and the subsequent proceeding of the case against the accused without defense violates this right. Section 7, subsection 1D, the composition of a tribunal of members of the armed forces creates the appearance, if not actual, lack of impartiality. And finally, Article 26, tribunals which fail to operate independently of the executive mean the government has failed in its duty to provide the necessary structures. And this was what happened. Facts. Communication 87/93 was brought on behalf of 7 men: Zamani Lekwot, James Atomic Kude, Yunana Karau Kibori, Marcus Mamman, Yahaya Dunia, Julius Serki Zamandabo, and Ilya Maza. Sentenced to death under the Civil Disturbances Special Tribunal, Decree number 2 of 1987 from Nigeria. This decree does not provide for any judicial appeal against the decisions of the special tribunals and prohibits the courts from reviewing any aspect of the operation of the tribunal. The communication also alleges that the accused and their counsel were constantly harassed and intimidated during the trial, ultimately forcing the withdrawal of the defense counsel. Despite the lack of defense, the tribunal condemned the accused to death for culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and breach of the peace. The communication argues that the prohibition on judicial review of the special tribunals and lack of judicial appeals for judgments of these tribunals violates the right to an appeal to competent national organs against acts violating fundamental rights guaranteed by Article 7, Paragraph 1, subsection A of the African Charter. The communication complains that the conduct of the trials before these tribunals, including harassment of the defense counsel and deprivation of defense counsel, violated the right to be defended by counsel of one's choice, guaranteed by Article 7, Paragraph 1C. The communication finally complains that the practice of setting up special tribunals composed of members of the armed forces and the police, in addition to judges, violates the right to be tried by an impartial tribunal guaranteed by Article 7, paragraph 1D. Procedure. The communication is dated 4th February 1993 and was sent with copies of the relevant legislation. On 6 February 1993, an appeal for urgent action in the case and a copy of the communication was sent to the chairman of the commission. On 12 February 1993, the complainant wrote to Commissioner Umuzurike requesting him to take interim measures. On 16 February 1993, the Commission wrote to the Attorney General of Nigeria with an appeal under Rule 109 in the revised Rules of Procedure, Rule 111 of the Rules of Procedure, asking that steps be taken to prevent irreparable prejudice. On 25 February 1993, the Attorney General responded in a letter dated 25 February 1993, stating that the state was not in violation of the Charter. He stated that the persons had been given a fair trial and sentenced to death. Provisions had been made, however, that they be moved from death cells to ordinary ones after examination of the case by the National Defense Council. The accused persons were said to be receiving fair treatment, which was a shameful lie. At the 13th session held in March/April 93 in Banjul, the Gambia, the Commission decided to bring the communication to the notice of the state concerned. This was done by the Secretariat of the Commission on 12 April 1993. On 12 August 1993, a reminder was sent by the Secretariat of the Commission to the government that if no written response was received in 2 months, the case would be considered by the Commission. At the 14th session held in December 1993 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the communication was declared admissible. On 20th January, 1994, another reminder was sent by the Secretariat to the Commission to the State of Nigeria. At the 15th session held in April 1994 in Banjul, the Gambia, the Commission decided to inform the government and the complainants of the dates of the next session, where the communication would be decided on the merits. On 29 July 1994, another notification was sent by the Secretariat of the Commission to the effect that if there was no written response before the next ordinary session, the communication would be considered on the merits.
30 minutes
regardless.
gone. All these things reading, we all know them. We all know them. We can read them too. We're wasting his precious time by reading what we can also read.
It is important to us that this whole country should hear and know what the African Commission decided relevant to this issue. And I think it's most relevant to your deliberations.
In other words, you're addressing the whole country, not us.
No, no, my lord.
Because we know it.
Those who come here to give evidence are not only telling your lordship, members
I
of the
see.
committee, they are telling the whole country.
If we are the whole country, it's all right.
Yes, sir. So
But
we are also
I know
telling the whole
the law of
country.
Lagos, the International Commission of Jurists
Yes.
said, I think law of Lagos, nobody should be convicted and executed on the verdict of one court. That's why in Kensera Wua's case, they said Nigeria committed judicial murder.
Yes.
Yes, we know all that.
Yes.
Maybe he said the whole country. Oh, let them hear.
Yes. The whole country must know. to this.
Yes.
On 29 July 94, another notification was sent by the Secretariat of the Commission to the effect that if there was no routine, oh yes, I have read that, I beg your pardon. 17. On 25th August 94, the Secretariat of the Commission wrote to the complainant to inform that at the 16th session, the communication would be considered on the merits. Furthermore, the complainant was asked to supply any further information available concerning the communication. The Commission notes that both parties were given notices of hearing, but neither appeared to present his case at the 16th session held in October-November 94 in Banjul, the Gambia. The Commission was therefore forced to decide the communication on the routine submission alone. Law. The case was declared admissible at the 14th session of the Commission on the following grounds. Article 56 of the African Charter reads as follows, quote, communications shall be considered if they are sent after exhausting local remedies, if any, unless it is obvious that this procedure is unduly prolonged, unquote. The case raises the question of whether the remedies available are of a nature that require exhaustion. The act complained of in Communication 87/93 is the Civil Disturbances Special Tribunal Act, in which Part 4, Section 8(1) provides, and I quote, the validity of any decision, sentence, judgment, or order given or made, or any other thing whatsoever done under this act shall not be inquired into in any court of law, unquote. The Civil Disturbances Act empowers the Armed Forces Ruling Council to confirm the penalties of the tribunal. This power is a discretionally extraordinary remedy of a non-judicial nature. The object of the remedy is to obtain a favor and not to vindicate a right. It would be improper to insist on the complainant seeking remedies from a source which does not operate impartially and has no obligation to decide according to legal principles. The remedy is neither adequate nor effective. Therefore, the Commission is of the opinion that the remedy available is not of a nature that requires exhaustion according to Article 56, Paragraph 5 of the African Charter. The case was thus declared admissible. The merits. Article 7 of the African Charter reads, quote, every individual shall have the right to have his cause heard. This comprises A, the right to an appeal to competent national organs against acts violating his fundamental rights. C, the right to defense. D, the right to be tried within a reasonable time by an impartial tribunal, which was not in our case. As cited above, the Civil Disturbances Act provides, and I quote, the validity of any decision, sentence, judgment, or order given or made, or any other thing whatsoever done under this act shall not be inquired into any court of law, unquote. A decision, sentence, judgment, order given or made, or any other thing whatsoever done under the Civil Disturbances Act may certainly constitute an act violating fundamental rights, as described in Article 7, subsection 1A of the Charter. In this case, the fundamental rights in question are those to life and liberty provided for in Articles 4 and 6 of the African Charter, which explains why we are here. While punishments decreed as the culmination of a carefully conducted criminal procedure do not necessarily constitute violations of these rights, to foreclose any avenue of appeal to competent national organs in criminal cases bearing such penalties clearly violates Article 7 subsection 1A of the African Charter, and increases the risk that even severe violations may go unredressed. The communication alleges that during the trials, the defense counsel for the complainants was harassed and intimidated to the extent of being forced to withdraw from the proceedings. In spite of this forced withdrawal of counsel, the tribunal proceeded to give judgment in the matter, finally sentencing the accused to death. The Commission finds that defendants were deprived of their right to defense, including the right to be defended by counsel of their choice, a violation of Article 7, subsection 1C, as cited above. The Civil Disturbances Special Tribunal Act Part 2, Section 2, subsection 2, says that the tribunal shall be appointed by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and consist of 1 judge and 4 other members, one of whom shall belong to the Armed Forces. As such, the tribunal may be composed of persons belonging largely to the executive branch of government, the same branch that passed the Civil Disturbances Act. And that is why we are complaining. If it is not corrected, many more people in future will suffer from it. Article 7, subsection 1D of the African Charter requires the court of tribunal, the court or tribunal to be impartial, regardless of the character of the individual members of such tribunals. Its composition alone creates the appearance, if not lack, of impartiality. It thus violates Article 7, subsection 1D. Article 26 of the Charter reads, and I quote, states, parties to the Charter shall have the duty to guarantee the independence of the courts, which was not done here. The right to the individual in Article 7 must be met by the duty of the government to provide the structures to enable the right to be exercised. By failing to provide courts which operate independently of the executive, the government of Nigeria has violated Article 26, despite the fact that we signed this charter. For the above reasons, the Commission declares that there has been a violation of Article 7, subsections 1A, C, and D, and 26 of the African Charter, and recommends that the government of Nigeria should free the complainants. Taken at the 16th session, Banjul, the Gambia, October 1994. Signed. My Lord, from what we have heard, is clear that the African Commission on Human Rights is superior to all Supreme Courts in Africa, just like the European Commission. Therefore, this judgment is binding to the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is binding to the Supreme Court of Nigeria and its subsidiary agencies. And with due respect, my Lord, is binding to this commission. So we demand that you make appropriate recommendations. Are you
reading or pontificating? That's a good one. Well, when did you become the Chief Justice of Nigeria?
Sorry about that, my Lord.
Now,
I got carried away.
Now, this decision was made was given in October 1994.
Yes, my Lord.
Now, the provisions of the law under which you had been tried requires that the decision of the tribunal was subject to confirmation by the Armed Forces Ruling Council, it was then called.
Yes, my Lord.
Right. Now, we know that this, my Lord, the members of the Commission, this is the appropriate time to put in.
Go on, but I feel I mean, because we have already decided in the Supreme Court that that confirmation does not amount to an appeal.
Yes, I know.
Uh-huh.
No, that's not the point. I've left that point. I'm going to something else. The point I was going to make now that I said this would have been the appropriate time to tender the proceedings before the National Defense and Security Council as it had become at that time. So
have you got them?
No, we have something that appears a copy. It's not completely, which doesn't appear to be complete, which was somebody just dropped it in his own office. But we have something here.
Tender it.
Yes, we tender it. Now, some time ago, you came across or you saw a document which is headed Property of the National Defense and Security Council as Annex A.
Yes, my lord. Somebody passed it to me.
Yes, somebody passed it to you. And it relates to the consideration of that council.
Yes, my lord.
Of the judgment given by Okadigbo. I seek to tender it, my lord.
Exhibit 54.
Yes. What is the date of that document?
That document is dated 14th June, 1993.
14th June 1993.
93, yes, my lord.
Right, okay. And what is it supposed to do? What is it supposed to be? Read the heading.
Well, the heading here is National Defense and Security Council, confirmation of the judgments of the judicial tribunals on civil and communal disturbances at Zango-Kataf, Kaduna State.
Yes.
Memorandum by the President,
yes.
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes, okay. Yes, what does it do?
Well, it has gone there to say many things, and then in Bureau, the punishments were awarded, reducing the sentences.
All right, no, just tell us, start from the beginning. What does it say there? So that we all know what it is. The government have been trying to hide it, so we better know.
You want me to read it, my
Yes,
lord?
yes.
The purpose of this memorandum is to present to Council for confirmation or otherwise the report and judgments of the two judicial tribunals on civil and communal disturbances in Zango-Kataf, Kaduna State, under the chairmanships of Honorable Justice B.O. Okadigbo and Emmanuel Adegbite. Following the civil and communal disturbances at Zango-Kataf, Kaduna State on 15th to 16th May 92, during which widespread destruction was inflicted on lives and property, the government set up two tribunals under Section 2(1) and 2 of the Civil Disturbances Special Tribunals Decree number 2 of 87, as amended, to try persons involved in the disturbances. The first tribunal, comprising 6 members, was headed by Justice Okadigbo, while the second tribunal, consisting of 7 members, had Mr. Emmanuel Adegbite as chairman. The two tribunals have completed their assignments and submitted their reports and judgments attached to this memorandum as Annexes 1 to 12. The Okadigbo Tribunal tried 23 suspects under 6 different groups, while Justice Adegbite Tribunal tried 30 persons under 6 different groups. The suspects were charged with offenses ranging from 1, culpable homicide, punishable under Section 221B of the Penal Code, 2, abatement, punishable under Section C5 of the Penal Code, Penal Code Law 3, unlawful assembly, punishable under Section 102 of the Penal Code, 4, rioting, punishable under Section 106 of the Penal Code, 5, rioting armed with deadly weapons, punishable under Section 107 of the Penal Code, 6, disturbance of the public peace, punishable under Section 3 of the Penal Code, 7, theft, punishable under Section 286 of the Penal Code, 8, criminal trespass, punishable under section 348 of the Penal Code, and 6, conspiracy, punishable under section 92, correction, 97, subsection 2 of the Penal Code, and 10, mischief by fire, punishable under section 337 of the Penal Code law. All the accused pleaded not guilty to the charges. The prosecution called 8 to 17 witnesses in the charges before the first tribunal, while the second tribunal had between 8 to 18 witnesses called by the prosecution in support of the charges. The summary of the trial and judgments are presented hereunder in 2 paragraphs, A and B. And he went further to
10 minutes more,
etc.
How many? Oh, 10 years. Okay, I'll take it.
So most of the sentences were reduced in ink. Counsel may wish to note that the defense counsels to the accused persons, Chief Jioke Ajayi, SAN, Emmanuel Toro, Esquire, withdrew their legal services to the accused persons at the very crucial stage in the proceedings. When the prosecution closed its case and the tribunal had to adjourn proceedings for about 2 weeks for the defense counsel to open their defense of the accused persons. The withdrawal was on the ground that Decree number 55 of 1992 had denied the accused persons their right of appeal to the higher court. They refused to be persuaded to continue. The tribunal then informed the accused persons of their rights under sections 106 and 19, correction, 191, subsection 1 of the Criminal Procedure Code.
Now, can we stop there for a moment?
Yes,
I
sir.
want you now to go look at page 4.
Page 4.
Yes, that from page 4 halfway down
To go back.
deals. Yes, go back. It
Yes, sir.
deals with those who are tried along with you, yourself, and those who are tried along with you.
Yes, yes, my lord.
And the decision of the National Defense and Security Council on the relation to the sentences passed
Yes, my lord.
on you. So if you look at that item 4, item 6, annex 6.
Annex 6.
You see it there, page 4.
Page 4.
Zamani, Lekwot,
It's not very clear in my copy.
Yes, okay.
The problem I have with the reading is that it's not clear. That was why, my lord, we requested for the original,
Yes,
which
okay.
the government has refused to
Right.
provide.
Okay. Now, so the one in relation to you was not clear. Then
Yes,
if
my
you look at page 5,
Page 5, yes, my lord.
that one deals with the next person, something, and it starts with, we don't know who that person is, but
Elia
it's
Maza?
3 years and 5 years imprisonment respectively with hard labor.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Then Marcus Maman,
Yes, my
that
lord.
is the 5th accused.
Yes,
who,
my
who
lord.
was sent, yes, read that one. What is done in respect of him?
Marcus Malman. Yes. Marcus Malman, who spoke no English.
Yes.
Accused person was found guilty under head of charge 1. Charge of charge 1. That is culpable homicide and sentenced to death by hanging. He was discharged and acquitted on head of charges 2 and 3. That is unlawful assembly and rioting.
Yes. Now, what is written opposite that in handwriting or biro?
It's 5 years.
5 years.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Then the next person, Yahaya
Dunia.
Dunia.
6 accused, found guilty on 2 heads of charge, that is culpable homicide, and sentenced to death by hanging. He was acquitted and discharged on charges of unlawful assembly, rioting, and rioting while armed with deadly weapons, under heads of charges 2, 3, and 4.
Yes. And what is written opposite?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Then the next person,
Julius Serkis Amandabo, who is now late, 7th accused, found guilty of culpable homicide under head of charge 1 and sentenced to death by hanging.
yes, what is written opposite his name?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes, my lord.
So he does accuse that those persons, those figures were written
In hand.
in hand to presumably the decision. Anyway, right, so at the end of the day, you're here, so you were not, you are not executed in
I thank God.
Yes.
And the prayers of Nigerians.
Yes, and none of those, convicted with you was executed.
No, my lord.
Now, those who have 5 years on this written in handwriting, in biro,
Yes, my lord.
opposite
Their names.
What happened to them, and including yourself?
Well, as we enumerated the charade between you and the Supreme Court,
Yes.
we had to complete our sentences before we were released.
What sentences? The Okadigbo sentence for you was death.
Yes, my
and
lord.
for these others was death.
Yes,
so how much did you? What
yes, we were in prison for 40 months.
You were in prison for
40 months.
40 months.
Yes, my lord.
That is approximately
Calculation of the prison authorities. Every sentence here is 8 months.
I see.
Yes.
So that in effect,
For good behavior.
yes. So in effect, you all served 5 years.
Yes, my lord.
Although you were discharged
Within
the
40 months.
usual discount.
Yes, my lord.
I see. So this, in fact, this document represents,
What happened?
yes, the decision, the extent to which that decision of Okadigbo was confirmed and modified.
Yes, my lord.
Right, okay. Now, after the sentence, did you file an application in the Supreme Court for an order to reverse the decision of the Okadigbo tribunal? Everything it did from the moment it was served with the motion for stay and the time it gave its judgment.
We did, my lord.
Right. Did the court list your application?
They didn't.
No. And you look, that was in 1993. When eventually was this application listed for hearing in the Supreme Court?
That was
That's 1997.
97.
Yes.
1997.
So that application was not even heard like others until 1997.
Correct.
Now, when it was eventually heard, what transpired? Were you present at the Supreme Court of the day?
Yes, my lord.
Right.
I was there with you and Colonel Madaki.
During the arguments, the Supreme Court asked for the copy of the proceedings and judgment of the Okadigbo tribunal, which needed to be set aside.
Correct, my
Right,
lord.
right.
Which we didn't have.
Yes, we did not have it. Later, did any evidence supplied to show that we had asked as far back as 1993?
Yes, my lord. All
For this
copies
judgment?
of the correspondence with the Honorable Attorney General, who promised to supply, were given to them.
Yes, okay.
And it was added that these proceedings were deliberately denied us.
Yes, okay.
And they didn't consider that before they...
No. Before the Supreme Court wrote its formal ruling, did you do an affidavit showing the Supreme Court all the correspondence which showed that it was the government that refused to release those proceedings they were asking for?
Yes, my lord.
Right.
2 days to the day,
Yes.
I accompanied Colonel Madaki to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And the registrar received us. He took the correspondence and filed them.
Yes, okay. So the motion which was filed to admit those affidavits in evidence, was it heard by the Supreme Court?
It was not heard.
Right. But nevertheless, the Supreme Court dismissed the application on the ground that the record of proceedings of Okadigbo Tribunal was not produced.
Yes, my lord.
Right. Has it been produced up till today? So
No, my lord.
Right.
With your permission, I want to add something.
All right, okay.
I'm not a lawyer, but something curious happened.
Yes.
When the day for the ruling came,
49 is a complete Supreme Court record of what happened.
Yes, that is so.
Minus
Yes.
Okadibo's...
minus Okadibo's
yes.
ruling, yes. Yes.
The judges that read the ruling were different from the judges who wrote them,
well,
including the Honorable Chief Justice.
yes, okay. Right, okay. Well, that really doesn't matter so much from the point of view in the law.
I was curious.
But, yes. But, yes, what they were saying on that day, when we drew their attention to the motion which was pending, for them to consider that affidavit.
1 minute more.
Yes. So, now, so that is the position. And you're asking what are you asking the commission to do in respect of this, your conviction?
My Lord, it's clear from the African Charter's ruling that we received a raw deal.
Yes.
Because of the image of this country, that African Charter's ruling must hold sway.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let me cut you short now. It's been suggested here during the course of evidence by learned counsel for the Hausa community,
Yes, sir.
that the Major Kude should not be calling himself a major, and
Yes,
that he was a convict. And by implication that you yourself, you're a convict, you should not be calling yourself a general.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the reality of the situation on the ground? What is the position of the army, the attitude of the army towards you and your status, having regard to documents in your possession?
My Lord, as a retired senior professional, this is the authentic position. When a serving officer commits a serious crime...
No, don't let's waste time on that.
Okay.
Have you received correspondence in the past, let's say 6 months or so, from the army?
Yes, my Lord.
Addressed to you?
I have some letters here.
Yes.
One from the Chief of Army Staff,
Yes.
inviting me to come and lecture students.
Send the documents.
Another from the Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy, 2 letters. Commander of the Artillery Corps,
Yes.
and from 2 governors.
Yes. The summary of those letters, they were doing, what were they doing there?
I was addressed by my full rank,
Yes.
you know, and I like to just...
No, look, we have time
Send
now.
that
Yes,
them,
sir.
please.
Yes.
The 2 letters, one
Yes,
is
yeah,
with
yeah.
55,
the
one
one,
is
yes,
with
yes.
56.
Yes, sir.
And in some of them, you are invited to come and address
Officers,
officers in the army. In
yes, my
connection
Lord.
with your experience.
They are preparing the Nigerian Army for effective combat role.
Yes.
That means they have recognized my experience and that which I can offer.
Yes.
And I just want to say that it is only officers that were cashiered when they were in service that they are deranked.
There's nothing I do not like. I don't like the guillotine to be applied on my neck. So I think His Lordship is looking at his watch. So let us withdraw a few seconds before the hammer comes down.
Yes, my Lord.
Right. We will present the rest. Whatever else you have to say, we'll send in writing.
Yes,
Thank
my
you.
Lord.
Cross-examination. Now, as lawyers, before we go, you made a point last time when you cross-examined that there are Supreme Court records to show that this case has not been set aside, that Okadibo's verdict by any court in Nigeria. It's on record. You said that.
Yes, my Lord.
We agree with you. Will you now agree with us that take away sentiment? That trial is against all known norms of justice. That's Okadibo. We are not the Supreme Court. We can't set it aside. We cannot. We can only comment on what
I hope, my Lord, my 1 hour time is not running.
no, before we go to,
Okay.
so that we have common ground.
Okay. My Lord, the issue
Common
of
ground.
the Okadibo
What
panel.
happened in that case?
No, my Lord,
You have already established that the law as it is, that Okadibo's thing has not been set aside.
It's
We
more-
agree with you.
it's more than that, my Lord. My Lord, if my Lord wants me to address this commission on the position of the petitioner vis-a-vis the decision of the Okadibo panel, I am prepared. But it will take me 15 minutes here, as I'm doing, I will do so.
I say it's common ground, isn't it?
It
It's
is not
common
a-
ground that they were convicted, rightly or wrongly. It's immaterial.
My Lord, having regards to the petition of the petitioner at page 16, whether they were convicted rightly or wrongly, his position is that the committal of that sentence to 5 years was not done by the appropriate body up to today, even though he's working on the street.
That's neither here nor there. That's nothing we can do with that. We cannot set aside anything done by Okadibo.
My position is, at law, is this commission cannot
If you don't
visit.
understand what I'm saying, you can go on then.
My lord, I do, but my position at law is that this commission cannot review the decision of Okadibo.
We agree with you. That's what I've been saying all the morning.
Yes.
And I told that to Chief Ajay.
Yes, so
that we can't review this.
it.
It's only the court.
Yes.
If they give them the records, that can review it.
Where they are, at the Supreme Court, yes.
Now, the Supreme Court, that means, having agreed on that,
Yes.
then cross-examine and leave that aspect out.
I was
Because
not
of no
going
use
to go
to
into
us.
that, my lord. I'm
Yes.
not going. My lord, may I am grateful for the 1 hour given. But I humbly say, my lord, I want to share my 1 hour into 3. Cross-examining
Your
for
time
30
has not
minutes.
started to run, so go on. The field
No,
is
my
yours.
lord, I'm coming, my lord. We are justice on time. I'm cross-examining for 30 minutes. I have 3 videotapes. I will show for 15 minutes. And 15 minutes, I'll present our case. Yes. As far as the Hausa Fulani communities are concerned in Zango-Kataf, you have no problem with them whatsoever.
That is correct.
And if you do offend them, you are prepared to apologize to them.
If I do offend them,
Yes, and it comes to your knowledge that you have offended them. You are prepared to apologize to them.
no, that is a hypothetical statement. First,
Use the microphone, they're recording you.
First, I don't live in Zango-Kataf town. My home is 24 kilometers in the opposite direction. I have no farm there. I have no shop there.
Please, I have 30
I
minutes.
have nothing.
Listen,
Yes.
if it is shown to you that you have offended them in the past, are you prepared to apologize to them?
When I get to the bridge, I will cross it.
Yes. You once on BBC Hausa service called the Hausa Fulani communities strangers or guests. Have you done so? Call them Bagimu, our strangers or our visitors.
Yes.
Have you done so in the
Yes,
past?
I said so in
Yes.
1992.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you prepared to apologize to them? They have born there, their grandfather was there, their fathers were there before you were born.
What
before
has
the
this got to
strangers.
do with my Human Rights Violation Commission petition?
It's their own human right.
This is out of point.
You are not prepared to apologize.
They too have insulted me in the pages of newspapers. I will show you here, which is worse than calling them strangers.
Right.
They call me names also.
Right.
Have I taken them to task? It was my opinion.
Have a look at this complimentary card.
That's something that amused me. We were coming down the lift.
we have
Somebody
an accord
met
with
us.
Yes.
Now,
We had an accord with
hold
you.
on. This is very important to Nigeria. When we talk about the strangers, are we not all strangers? When there was a time we were not in Nigeria. And we came to Nigeria from wherever we came from.
My lord, I hope this will go.
So we're
into
all
injury
strangers
time.
in Nigeria. Why should a stranger call another stranger?
My lord, I hope this will go into injury time.
We are talking to Nigerians now.
Yes.
This goes on strangers.
Sir, you had a complimentary card bearing address number 25A Ibrahim View Crescent, P.O. Box 1200 Kaduna.
Yes.
As your address.
I lived there before.
Yes, if you see a copy of that complimentary card with your handwriting photocopy, you'll be
Yes.
able to identify it. Please, quickly.
Yes, I will see it.
Somebody also, just like they dropped that document, you drop this with us. Use the mic, please. Is that your complimentary card attached?
Yes, I didn't drop it anywhere. I gave it to Alhaji Babajo, who pretended to be my friend.
Thank you very much.
And when this crisis started,
May I tender it, my lord? Please, don't
you
worry.
tender it. But I want to correct this wrong impression.
Don't worry.
He paraded
Don't
himself
worry.
as my friend. I gave him that card so that he could come to Kaduna.
57.
Sir,
He hasn't asked you a question. He said, is that your complimentary card?
Yes,
Answer
wait.
is yes.
Yes, my lord.
Wait till they ask another question.
That
Sir.
was the insinuation.
Sir, we had an accord with you. No provocation, no sentiments,
We
no annoyance.
didn't have any accord. You made a statement. I said, okay,
No, before today. Let's go to facts, please.
you are wasting time.
Thank you. You had a meeting with that Babajo whom you gave that complimentary card, with Jury Baba Ayok at Zango towards seeing the development of Zango town. Before you gave him that complimentary card to come to your house,
This issue was raised at the Kujo Commission.
where you are witness 24,
And
but did you give him that card?
No, I cannot answer yes. I must
Did you
explain.
give Nuhu Umaru Babajo
Yes,
that card?
I gave him.
Good. Please give me Exhibit 5. Let me read something to you there.
I gave him.
Yes. You testified as witness 24 before the Zango-Kataf market.
Kujo Commission, yes?
No, it's Zango-Kataf market riot.
No, it's Kujo Commission.
I'm telling you the correct name, but
It's,
let's
it's
go
the
on.
same thing, Kujo
Yes.
Commission.
And this was stated there.
Yes.
Prior to the carnage period, Zamani Lekowt has been making some provocative statements, among which was when we were holding a meeting on Zango-Kataf development under the chairmanship of Alhaji Mato. Others in attendance were Alhaji Umaru Babajo, Alhaji Dambala ATK, Peter Lekowt, Zamani Kaza, Yuri Baba Ayok, former chairman Zango-Kataf local government. When Yuri raised the issue on the new market site at the skirt of Zango, then Alhaji Umaru Babajo told them that unless the Kataffs will give the affected houses a place where they will farm in return. Jury said it's not easy because of the two ridges. A Kataff man will be dragging a court case for over a year. Then Zamani Lekowt came in saying, don't you know that the land belongs to the Kataffs? If not because we are restraining our youth, what do you think will happen? Is it until when we do what the thieves did to the Fulanis in 1950s? After the meeting, he, Zamani Lekowt, invited Alhaji Umaru Babajo to his house at Kaduna for another meeting. Alhaji Umaru Babajo refused to honor the invitation due to the utterances of Zamani Lekowt during their last meeting. Zamani Lekowt gave his complimentary card to Alhaji Umaru Babajo as a direction to his house in his own handwriting, which I photocopied and attached. This is in addition to what he said during his interview with BBC correspondents.
False. That was not what transpired. First,
Sir, who are the triumphant?
No, let me explain.
I have read to you. Don't
No,
worry.
you
say
have put
I'm
the facts
wasting time.
upside down.
You said I'm wasting time. You are now wasting time.
Look, I wasn't invited to that meeting. Otherwise, produce the minutes and let me see
Umaru
my name.
Babajo never came to your house after you gave him your card.
That is not the point.
No, that's the point.
I wasn't invited to that meeting.
Did Umaru Babajo come
I
to
went
your
there
house?
to deliver a message and sat down to listen.
Did Umaru Babajo come to your house?
Produce the minutes of the meeting.
Did you hear my question?
I heard you.
Did Umaru Babajo come to your house?
That is the answer. Produce the minutes of the meeting.
Did Umaru Babajo come to the house?
He didn't come.
Thank you.
He volunteered to come.
Yes, he
If he
didn't
changed
come.
his mind, I'm not responsible.
Who are the triumphant that met and committed your sentence to a lesser term of imprisonment without the knowledge of the Armed Forces Ruling Council?
Yes.
Who?
If you see these minutes, you will find that the sentences were written by one man in one hand.
Yes, who are the triumphant?
Babangida,
Yes,
the late Aliu Jamaa,
yes.
and Colonel Akilu.
So as far as you are concerned, and by the showing of your petition, your sentence was not properly handled by
Yes.
the appropriate body.
That is true.
Yes.
And the reason is,
Don't
if
worry.
it was properly handled
You should go back to prison.
through the process, that is what you want.
Yes, because it's not properly handled by the appropriate body.
That is what you want. And by God's grace, it will not be. If despite reading the African Charter, you are still saying this, then your camp that has briefed you, you are now saying this in order to earn your keep. I
Yes,
understand.
I have no camp. My time is, I am timed. You are very conversant with the house of late Ambassador Jolly Tanko Yusuf in Kaduna.
Yes.
You have visited the house on a number of occasions.
He was my mentor.
He was your mentor.
Yes.
You've been to his house.
Many times.
Yes. You've been to his house with Colonel Yohana Madaki,
Yes.
Reverend Father Moses Adasu.
No.
What about James Bawa Magaji?
No.
What about with very revered Father Jack B. Yali?
No.
He was the Khan president before he died one time in Kaduna.
One time, yes.
Yes. You visited his house and held a caucus meeting of Northern Christian Elders Forum. He signed some of the things. Let me tell you.
False. False.
Don't worry, you will not agree. My Lord, I seek to tender that face in evidence.
No, I don't know this.
Don't worry.
I have never seen this.
The minutes of the caucus meeting of Northern Christian Elders Forum, Kaduna chapter.
Do you want me to react? I was invited
Yes.
by the SS.
Yes.
When I
Over
went
it.
there, I was told about these minutes. When I
worry.
asked the officer to show
Don't
me-
worry, you are invited.
No,
by the
I will
SS.
explain. I will explain.
My lord,
If
this
you
witness-
are in the box and you are being cross-examined, you wait.
Yes,
if
my
he
lord.
asks a question, you answer.
I apologize.
If he doesn't ask, don't answer.
I
General.
apologize. I apologize, my lord.
Now I know you are general, sir.
Exhibit 58
Yes.
is the meeting
Please,
of the Northern Christian.
What we held outside this commission, I don't want to put it in public. You admonish me that I'm your son. I told you I
Of
agree.
course, of course.
And I'm not going to provoke you. I'm only 43 years old. Please, let me cross-examine you. You are
Okay.
invited by the SS over that document.
Yes.
Yes. Please let me read that document. It is admitted. Minutes of caucus meeting of Northern Christian Elders Forum, Kaduna State Chapter. The meeting held at the residence of Ambassador Jolly Tanko Yusuf, the chairman of Northern Christian Elders Forum. It commenced at about 12 midnight, and in attendance were Major General Zamani Lekowt, retired, Very Revered Father Jack B. Yali, Mr. James Bao Magaji, Reverend Chris Abashia, Reverend Father Moses Adashu, Ambassador Jolly Tanko Yusuf, Colonel Yuana Madaki, retired. The above Executive Council held a meeting to deliberate, among other things, on the following. 1. The forceful Islamization of Zango-Kataf. They need to counter this by bringing down the multi-million naira Jumad Mosque at Zango-Kataf. We have therefore resolved that at the point in time, Zango-Kataf needs basic amenities such as hospital, electricity, potable drinking water, and schools, not mosques. That the ratio of Christians to Muslims is 99% to 1%, which makes the construction unnecessary and provocative. That 5 days after Christmas, the Northern Christian Elders Forum should mobilize Christian youth movements in Kaduna State to pull down the structure. That the protestation should begin on the BBC News Hour to be followed by actions after Christmas. The forum can then appeal for calm in the media after the mission has been accomplished. Signed, Jambo. And schedule for the caucus meeting of Northern Christian. The arrangement has been made by taking the following steps immediately. 1, to get at least between 20 and 40 Muslim youths from outside Samaru area to utilize them with a token of 2,000 naira each to provoke some Christians as directed. To organize some Christian youths from 4 other tribes, including Baju and others not from Kataff clan alone. To pay at least 4 newspapers of South that are not government-owned to blow the story nationwide. To ensure proper and long report by the Voice of America through the reporters and perhaps the CNN International. Lastly, to ensure that at least no traditional ruler except the chief of Zango is allowed to appeal for peace in the area, or even deal with the chief who was imposed on Samaru by the Secretary to the Federal Government, Alhaji Gidado Idris, by the concerned 5 of Zonkwa. Now, when the SS invited you over this document, ultimately, you were detained under Decree 2, signed by Augustus Ikomu, Vice President. Were you?
Wait. In respect of the
My
letter?
question is simple.
In respect of the letter?
Do you?
No, you see, you have
Don't
a way
ask me
of,
questions.
You have a way
Answer
of,
my questions.
I can answer your questions by another question. You are mixing things up. ICOMO's
Can you
decree
answer
number
me?
2 was in 1992. This letter was written after.
Were you detained under Decree 2?
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Yes, by Ikomu.
Yes.
Yes. Now, in your petition, you said when Babangida came to Zango, he cried. I guess one of your witnesses, when he cried, was Colonel Yuana Madaki.
One of my witnesses, where?
Yes, people who saw him weeping.
Where?
When he visited Zango after the crisis.
No, I wouldn't say Colonel Madaki.
No, page 9. According to eyewitnesses, he wept openly there and declared those arrested guilty until they exculpated themselves.
Yes.
At a tribunal was set up later.
Yes, I say so in my
Yes.
petition.
You know, you agree with me, it's not easy for a general to cry.
Oh, generals cry sometimes. We're
Yes,
human
but it's not
beings.
easy.
No, we are human beings.
But it's not easy.
We can be emotional. Yes.
Do you know why Babangida cried?
No, I don't know.
Let me show you. He said why he cried when he went to Zango. My lord, let me tender this hotline magazine. Babangida said it luckily why he cried when he went to Zango.
I'm happy you admit he cried. But he never went to Taraba. He never went to Bauchi. He never went to Kano when there were similar riots. Why Zango-Kataf? He cried for some other reasons.
He said so. We are lucky to have why he said why he cried.
Exhibit 59.
Please, mark it quickly. Give him, there's a portion. Let me read it to him. If I give him to read, he will waste my time. He will waste my time. Babangida said this in an interview to Hotline. Since you don't know, let me tell you why he cried. Then there is the Zango-Kataf crisis. I had been a soldier all my life. People were killed in front of me, but I was never shocked. But what I saw in Zango-Kataf really shocked me. I never knew something could move me to tears. I didn't know the time I shed tears. Have you ever seen the site of the mass burial graveyard in Zango since you were released?
No, I haven't.
Yes, that is why you are talking. You have never seen it?
No.
When this commission visited Zango.
What about, hold it, what's the document? Should be 60. What's the name? Let's see. No, we already have 59, the magazine.
I don't know.
Magazine is 59. Is that the magazine? That's the magazine. 59 then. Mark it 59.
My Lord, I was looking for my timekeeper.
Go on.
Yes.
We have the timepiece here.
Yes. Okay. You never saw the site, no. But you very well know Zango.
If you want to be reminded,
to some extent,
15 minutes.
Yes. Hello?
15, you still have 45.
Very well. I intend just handling it for 30 minutes, and then we go for the rest. Thank you. If you see Zango, after the attack, before it was revealed, I understand when it was revealed you were in prison.
Yes.
But you see it in video, you'll be able to recognize it.
Oh, I know some parts of Zango.
Yes.
I'm not conversant with the town.
Yes.
But at least I know the way to the district head's house.
Right. Similarly, if you see Yuri Baba Ayok and Atomi Kude having a festivity after he was released, you'll be able to identify them.
Yes, I will. They are my friends.
Yes. You live very close to Marwa, closer to Marwa than Zango.
Yes.
You know Vincent Lekowt and one Christopher Lekowt?
No, I don't.
You don't
Lekwot
know?
is a common name in southern Kaduna and Plateau.
Oh, Lekowt is a common name. Are you aware? Madaki said so. Let me cut it. Colonel Madaki said, it will be a mistake to count 15 people in Zango-Kataf without mentioning you. Do you agree?
Zango-Kataf means many things.
Count important.
Is it the local government?
Important people in Zango-Kataf, local government.
Okay.
If they count important people, they count 15 and they don't mention Zamani Lekowt, there must be a mistake. And if they count 50, they don't mention him, there is also a mistake.
Yes,
do you agree?
It's a fact, yes.
It's a fact. Now, okay. Anyway, my Lord, let me tender that paper why he said so. Genocide in Kaduna. Sorry.
You can't talk without mentioning his name.
My Lord?
The paper is to prove what?
No, just to further corroborate this statement. I'm not saying it just for laughing sake. Because they are laughing, I want to show why he really said it. Let's take it. I tendered that paper in evidence. Why he
Let's see what's the name.
You contested, or you are, I would say contested.
Citizen, Genocide in Kaduna.
You are considered as one of those
Citizen of,
to be the chief of ATM chiefdom. Is that true?
I would say no, because I didn't tell anybody I wanted to be chief.
Did your people prompt you as one of the most 15 important personalities?
Nobody prompted me.
So, Jury Babayo.
Hold on, let's mark your citizen, Exhibit 60.
Yes, I'm most grateful, my Lord. Jury Babayo said it was your people that asked you to be there. Was he mistaken?
No, he didn't say so.
In evidence here?
No, he didn't say they asked me. He said some people wanted.
Your people wanted you to be there?
Yes.
I see.
Of their own volition.
Of their own.
And he countered by telling you that they exercise their fundamental right.
Yes. Do you subscribe to the view that violence should be used in pressing forth your demands?
No.
What will be your reaction, sir, if you see your people jubilating that after the killings in Zango, you now have respect from the houses, and that others should follow?
Come again.
If you see reaction from your people, including important 15 people like you who said, since the fighting or the war in Zango, you people now have respect.
No,
Others can follow suit.
You cannot say some important people like me. I have never said that to anybody.
Okay. Will you encourage that?
No.
Let me show you.
As a community leader,
Yes.
promotion of goodwill is my business.
Yes. You know Archbishop Peter Jatau.
Yes,
Have a look. You see the one here?
His Grace.
His Grace. Quickly. I've asked him in an interview. I seek to tender that in evidence.
Yes, he is.
Do you consider him as one of the important people from Zango?
Yes.
First 15 or first 50?
I don't want to.
Okay.
Exhibit 61.
Thank you.
I don't want to lower his status by quantifying the number.
Okay. Hear this. Concord.
All right. Are you tendering for Babangida or
Both of them are there, my lord.
you want him to read this out?
No, I'll read it for him, my lord.
The first page?
No, I highlighted just one paragraph.
I see, not the first page.
Yes, question. As an indigenous of Zango-Kataf, how did you
61.
feel in your period of conflict? It was a very bitter experience. I think the result was a blessing in disguise. How? The people fought before they were running away, but they stood their grounds and fought. We have more respect now than before. So it was good to stay and fight. Well, it was unfortunate. The result in the final analysis was something that was appreciative. Now, even important religious leaders, like my learned friend and the pastor, Kadima, jubilated over your release and encouraged other people to fight in southern Kaduna. Do you agree they should do so?
I will say no.
Okay. I will show you the video in
As
the
a
last 15
godly,
minutes.
as a godly man, he cannot encourage what you are saying. But in respect of his feeling happy for my
Yes.
being released,
Yes.
which was correct, as the
Don't worry, sir.
proceeding here have shown,
Yes.
I ought not to have been treated the way I was treated.
Yes, I will show you why he said others should follow, just before we conclude. Sir, there is this case throughout the 13 local governments in Kaduna South. Wherever you have a case, from Kwario to Kwagiri, from Marwa to Zango-Kataf to Kachia, wherever you have a case involving a Fulani or Hausa, the agitation is that you do not own land. And even if they go to court and judgment is given in favor of the Hausa or Fulani, there will still be trouble. Are you aware as a leader?
The answer is no, because I have Fulani as my neighbors.
Yes, I know. And you had a driver who is a Fulani for 27 years.
Exactly, and I love him.
Yes. Do you know Angwan Kajit in Marwa?
Can I correct
Just a
you?
minute. Do you know Angwan Kajit in Marwa?
Angwan Kajit?
In Marwa?
No, there is nothing like that.
Oh, you don't know Angwan Kajit in Marwa?
Angwan Kajit, there is no Angwan Kajit in Marwa.
I know.
Marwa very well.
I'm only in Kaduna for 14, I know.
Do you mean Angwan Kajit?
Yes.
In Marwa?
Yes.
Do you mean Kazim?
In Manchok.
Do you mean Kajim? Where the
Okay.
waterworks is?
Pardon my pronunciation.
Yes, it's not
At-
Angwan
at
Kajit.
Manchok.
It's Kajim.
Kajim at Manchok.
Yes.
Yes. Do you know the family of Adamu Galadima, Adamu Bako?
No, I don't.
You don't know?
No, I don't. I know the place because of the waterworks.
Are there Fulanis in that area?
Oh, there are Fulanis all over the Middle
Yes.
Belt.
Are you? No, even in Mali. Yes. Do you know Alhaji Agebu in Kachia?
Alhaji who?
Agebu.
No. I'm not a Kachia man, so I don't know.
I know. Thank God
Ask me about Jankasa.
No, I've just discovered I know more of Southern Kaduna than you do.
Well,
Now-
you made a mistake by talking about Kaduna South. Then you are mentioning Marwa and all that.
Yes.
That was what you said, and that was why I kept quiet. You wanted to say Southern Kaduna. You said Kaduna South.
Thank you for the correction.
That's better.
I take it with respect.
Well, you may know better than me because
are you aware?
Our vocations are different.
Yes. Are you aware the Adamu Bako I mentioned litigated to the High Court with Vincent Lekowt, Christopher Lekowt, and his house was demolished in spite of all entreaties to Kaduna State government. And he had to leave to Jos.
I disapprove such actions.
You disapprove?
Demolishing somebody's house as a way of settling scores, I condemn it.
Yes. In fact, even the police in Kaduna sent a signal to Chief of Marwa to be called to order to allow him come back. He, up till today, is now in Jos. Please let me tender the signal.
It shouldn't be so.
Yes.
But you should have told us the reason.
Yes.
No
in the case of Agebu, let me tell you, in the case of Agebu, he also litigated on land up to the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, where the Court of Appeal confirmed the land was his. He was killed. And the recently created Adara Chiefdom did not even leave his children that they want to set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal. I'm sure if you are aware of such as a leader, you will not approve of it.
I will not. It's unfortunate.
Yes. Let me tender the, please. This is Alhaji Agebu. My Lord, I tendered the judgment of the Court of Appeal on Alhaji Agebu. And the other Chiefdom.
By the way, land disputes are even between twins. Same father, same mother.
Yes.
All over Nigeria.
My Lord, have I spent more than 30 minutes? No. Justice, jet justice, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord.
You have 5 more minutes.
My Lord, even if I have a gargantuan mouth, I will not finish questioning the witness. But
I'll try and get you one.
Yes.
When the commission rises.
You know one Elkwaza Zango?
Yes, I know him.
A gentleman with the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation in Lagos.
Oh, Elkwaza.
Yes, who made moves to have peace.
I know him.
He made moves to have peace in Zango.
I know him.
Yes, he made moves. He wrote letters to all people concerned in 92 April when this crisis was going on to have peace. Like
I didn't receive such a letter.
He he gave about 24 people.
But my name is not there.
Certainly he omitted you out of the first 15.
Well, that disproves you are saying that what you have just said about my stand in Zango-Kataf.
Yes. My Lord, I seek to tender this letter from a gentleman, Elkoza Zango, like my learned friend's namesake, who made moves for peace. So, apart from you, was there any general in the whole of Southern Kaduna that was invited?
Letter of 23rd March 2000, Exhibit 63, letter of 23rd March.
Yes,
come again.
And then the judge, hold it, let's mark your exhibits first. The judgment is Exhibit 64.
I'm most grateful, my Lord. I apologize for talking while the commission was ruling. That is part of the hazards of jets. So, apart from you,
yes,
is there any general in the whole of 13 local governments in Southern Kaduna that was invited by the SS or tried or jailed, rightly or wrongly, by Okadibo? To your knowledge?
No. You are missing 2 things. The 92 episode where I was invited, I wasn't invited by the SS. The SS did not come in. The SS also only called me about the anonymous letter on the mosque, which is still standing.
Let me narrow it, sir.
Yes.
Was there any general that was accused in the whole of the 13 local governments?
No.
And at least they are up to 13? To your knowledge?
The riot did not take place in the whole of Southern Kaduna.
No, I mean at least they are up to at least 13.
They are more than that.
They are more than that?
Yes.
Thank you. You know of the Kataff Youth Development Association?
Of course. It's our government.
Are Hausa Fulanis part of them?
Yes, they may not be in the ESCO, but there are branches.
There are branches.
They should be there.
Now, this is a document from them addressed to the Hausa community, Zango-Kataf district, to celebrate Atiyab Day, the day of your victory after you got chiefdom. And the branches are there. Have a look.
That is false. Atiap Day is not to celebrate this victory.
I'll read it to you. Don't worry. Is that the association I'm talking about?
Yes, from the
the Kataff Youth Development Association.
From the letterhead, yes.
Evidence.
And the signatories.
Yes. When it's admitted, I'll read just one paragraph quickly to you. When last, to your knowledge, was this Atiap Day celebration ever held?
That was 98, I think.
Yes. Before 98?
98.
When was it held?
That was 92.
92. Yes.
The crisis disrupted everything.
Yes. Let me read this quickly while the court is reading. Let me wait for the commission to read.
Kataff Youth Development Association, Exhibit 65.
The Traditional Council also decided that the day, that is 28 February, be observed every year as the day the Atiap Chiefdom was granted. The actual celebration for this year will take place on the 1st March 1997 at Mabarado, Zango-Kataf. To make the day a grand success, your branches are expected to forward the sum of 10,000 to the national headquarters. And the headquarters are mentioned all over: Kaduna, Kafanchan, Jos, Zonzon, etc., Manchok, Goram branch. There is no Zaria branch. Do you have Kataff people living in Zaria?
We do.
There's no Zaria branch.
There is Zaria branch, there is Kano branch, there is Lagos branch. Something must have gone wrong.
Something must have gone
Yes.
wrong.
Half an hour gone.
Yes. This celebration that was to take place at Mabarado, thank you.
That is what we call Zango.
Yes, that Mabarado was the place the last witness, member of the Traditional Council, took the Zango-Kataf Market Riot Commission to visit.
Yes.
And that was the place, there was argument too that the place should not be a place for Mabarado.
Maybe.
Yes. General, since that is what we should call you. Now, as a leader of your people, also in this petition, if you maintain that Hausa Fulanis are settlers, how are we going to have this problem solved? And they are terribly aggrieved about it.
One, what you quoted me as saying in 92, there was a reason. After the market riot, somebody spoke to the BBC.
Are you spending all your 1 hour in cross-examination?
No, my lord.
Sir, before,
it's the last one I am with.
Let me lay this foundation. 1 minute.
My lord.
They accused me on the BBC of buying arms to fight the Zango people.
Please let me have this.
When Adamu Yusuf
thank you.
came to me, that was why I called them strangers.
No, thank you.
Let me answer your question.
No, I'm okay. Thank you. The commission has no time.
No, let me answer your question.
With respect, I hate to interrupt. But when counsel asks a question of a witness, he must be allowed to give an answer.
Yes.
Even if the counsel does not like the answer, he must listen. The witness must be allowed to give his answer.
I also learned the law from my learned senior that you can withdraw your question. My lord, I humbly apply to withdraw the question so that I can show my...
No. I will answer it. It's a good question.
Yes.
My lord, it's a good question. Good generals don't run from battles. We may stage tactical withdrawal to counterattack.
Yes.
My personal view is this.
Yes.
I accept the fact that their ancestors were settlers. They were settled by our ancestors. But as far as the present generation is concerned, they were born and bred there. I accept them as my brothers. Some of them are my friends. Ditto the Fulani. Provided they are of good behavior. Our tradition, even in Fulani tradition, if somebody comes to you and you accept him, good behavior is the condition. The trouble with some of them, not all, is that backed by the emirate in Zazzau, they have been behaving like an army of occupation.
Are you okay, sir?
And that is not good for anybody. So
Yes.
let them identify themselves with the environment and all these problems will disappear.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are grateful that you love them, including the Fulanis. You know, you were once the governor of Rivers.
Yes,
And during the period of your incarceration, you were taken there.
yes,
And you are a good Christian.
yes,
And God spared your life and brought you back.
yes.
Do you know why?
Well, I'm sure
You still have a role
there are
to
reasons.
play in having peace.
I didn't deserve to
Do you
die.
agree you still
and I
have
have
a
a role
role?
to play, yes?
Yes. Finally, I put it to you, sir. Your complaints now, you are lucky you are being heard. All the 1,000 Hausa Fulanis that are killed in Zango will not have the opportunity of being heard.
That's correct.
Even the people who are representing them now,
Yes.
will not have the opportunity because of time constraint. But I will advise and say finally to you, why you are going through all these tribulations is because you did not take solace in the word of your book. If you have read the Old Testament, Amos, the prophet of social justice, told you that you will not live in the fine storehouses you build, nor drink wine from the beautiful vineyard you plant.
Yes.
Because you rob the poor of their grain, you take bribes, you don't tell the truth in court, and so keeping quiet in such an evil time is a clever thing to do.
Okay.
If you had done so,
Yes.
you won't do. So I finally advise you, and I hope you will agree with me, that you should now concern yourself more about settling this dispute than opening that Hausa did to you. If Babangida did to you, Babangida is not even Hausa man. You know that. Do you know that? He's not a Hausa man.
I know.
Yes. And his wife is not even a Hausa man, Igbo.
I know.
Yes. So, sir, finally.
Now let me react to this
No, no,
before
no.
you come. No.
If you react, you take my time.
No. I just want to correct certain misgivings.
You are also Hausa man. Do you agree?
I am.
Yes.
They are my
And
brothers.
that is the truth.
But they don't accept me as such. They call me names.
Niger, we are all Hausas.
They
And when
dis-
2003 comes, I know you will say you are all Hausas.
They discriminate against me.
My Lord, that's what. My Lord, may I humbly
No, I
show
have. My Lord,
the
I'm-
major one.
I must answer the question, my Lord.
No, you must not. The commission will
No,
ask
when you say something and leave it in the air, the wrong impression is given.
because they gave me what
The truth is this.
Hold it. Let him speak.
I was- question. It's
I
what
was
is
not
it?
What is
incarcerated
it?
because of guilt.
He said that you are a very wonderful leader. I should devote all your energies to bringing peace to your community.
That is what I have been
And you
doing, my
agreed
Lord.
with him. And you told us that when we came on a visit, that you are now on a peace campaign.
Thank
he
you,
wants
my
you to continue on that path.
Thank you, my Lord.
My Lord, may
I accept the
humbly-
challenge.
May I
Say-
humbly show the major one? My Lord, I have no problem with him. I thank God I'm 43 years old. He was one of those I was crying.
You have finished your cross-examination.
I have to leave him, my Lord, to be able to show
Show what?
the major one that I said I was only for him.
To show what now?
To show,
I know, show what? What the vision
my Lord, to
shows.
show him that because of the crisis in Zango and the culprits were not tried and properly the rule of law taking place, other people are being encouraged in Nigeria because of it. Anybody who wants anything, he resorts to violence. Because at the end of the day, a judicial commission of inquiry will be set up, nothing will come out of it. No white paper, nothing. So I want to show him just that.
You arrested and tried the wrong people. That was why.
Your friend, General to
You better
General,
tell him, since you have his telephone number.
he also committed it for you. Please, can we have the major one?
Well, I hope
My
you
Lord, I
Are you
only
asking
intend-
questions or are you conversing?
My Lord, in the spirit of settlement, sometimes we must.
Well, if you want to
I don't have
tender-
anybody to hug him.
Because
May I?
I've said it in very many venues. No matter what we say here, no matter what we write, peace will come when the people on the ground agree
Beautiful.
to agree.
I agree, my Lord.
Huh?
My Lord, I even agree peace should not even come from outside.
It cannot.
Yes. My Lord, this commission is only
Peace
scratching
can
Nigeria's
never come
problem.
from outside.
It's only
It might be
scratching.
encouraged, but it can only come from within the person himself first,
Yes.
and then with the others
Right.
agreeing to agree.
No, the major one is with you. Give me that video. It's with you in evidence. My Lord, may I show just 2 minutes in. You have the exhibit. Yes, the major one. Then, yes, show at 3:07, then 3:20 to 3:24. That's just that. Give him there. I've already highlighted that area.
Will the tape be a summary of the case you want to present?
My Lord, I had cross-examined a witness here and stated that they celebrated, rewind it back please, celebrated, and that their next target after they are successful in Zango is Jama'ah. And it happened. So my Lord, this commission should be interested. I also have a tape to show the real corpse and the mass graveyard in Zango. My Lord should be very patient with me. We took time to hear one petition, Bagada Kalto, Delegiwa, but this one is why over 1,000 people died. Please rewind it to 307 quickly, just 2 minutes. Quickly. Yes. But we can show it so that maybe we'll see. You're okay. It has been tendered. Yes. Take it to 307. You have to put it on to be able to see when it is at 307. I'm still with you. Which one is that I showed you? These are what? Please, let me see the cassette you're playing. Okay, please. Take it to 307. 307.
May it please your Lordship and members of the Commission, if my learned friend has finished with the witness, may he be discharged and there is no, instead of keeping him in the box.
Is this the end of the cross-examination? Or is the tape part of the cross-examination?
My Lord, I don't think I'll ask him any other question.
Is the end of the cross-examination?
Yes, that's it.
I see. Does anybody want to cross-examine? Thank you very much. Keeping it brief.
Yes, General.
No,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
know that,
cross-examining. Cross-examine your own.
Yes, my Lord, just one question, sir. Yes, General, you are aware that there are a lot of non-Hausas in Sabongari in Zaria.
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, and the number of non-Hausas in Sabongari in Zaria are more than the number of Hausas in Zango-Kataf.
That should be correct.
Yes. Now, General, you are aware that in Zango-Kataf, the Kataf people have given the Hausas a district head.
At their request. That
Yes.
was part of the agreement at
Yes.
the Moazur report.
So they were given a district.
We honored it.
A district head was appointed.
Yes.
Yes. Do you know whether the non-Hausa people in Zaria are privileged to have similar treatment?
Not alone, and not at all. Even in election, they never get a chance.
Yes.
And more fundamental than that, there is a village on the way to Soba from Zaria. It's called Sakaru.
Yes.
Majority of the people there are Kataff people.
Yes.
But after the civil disturbances in '92, they were all driven away. Their farms were first taken away from them, and then they were harassed. They have disappeared from the place.
Yes. So
those who throw stones should not live, those who live in glass houses should not throw stones.
yes, you know that the leader of the Hausa community in Zongo, by name Alhaji Ibrahim Abubakar, in the past 3 months, he has been granting series of interviews
Yes.
to the press.
Yes.
And he has also been advertising advertorials in different newspapers, especially the Weekly Trust.
That is true.
Yes, take a look at this document, whether it's part of the publications by Alhaji.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, please, can you just, there is a place I underlined. to your right-hand side. Just
Yes.
2 lines. Can you read?
Yes.
Sorry, I seek to tender in evidence, my lord. Sorry.
It's already tendered, I think.
Exhibit 66.
66. Yes, please take a look at Exhibit 66. Take a look at Exhibit 66.
On the right.
The column I underline on your right-hand side.
Yes.
Can you read that?
Former President Babangida, who commuted their sentences to 5 years imprisonment, was there and he wept openly when he saw the extent of genocide. He wept furiously.
Yes, and that the decree, section 2, subsection 2 of the civil servants decree gives Babangida, who was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces,
Yes.
the right to constitute the tribunals that tried you.
Yes.
And that same Babangida that wept furiously, according to the advertorial of Alhaji Abubakar Zango.
Exactly.
Do you expect to have justice in such tribunals?
That was why we were not given justice.
Yes.
Or one of the reasons.
And General,
Yes, my
you
lord.
have read the advertorials of Alhaji Abubakar Zango in
Yes.
the various newspapers.
Yes, my lord.
What can you say about the advertorials?
They are provocative. They assaulted my integrity,
Yes.
besmirred my name, and all I can say is, as their counsel indicated here, I should go back to prison. That is a misdirection of their missiles. I have never been the problem. I'm a responsible man who has served this country with dedication to the best of my ability. And since I retired, they will know that I have done so much to contribute to their return and to the return of their farms. But as to why they are placating me is what I don't know.
Yes. So, finally, General, what is the panacea for peace in Zango-Kataf?
The panacea for peace is for us to accept one another as we are.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the Zazzau Emirate sowed the seed of discord in Zango-Kataf town by treating these people, our brothers there, as sacred cows. They look at other Katafs with disdain. We give them our daughters in marriage. Consequently, majority of them are the offsprings of our women. In the Nigerian culture, your sister's child is your son. We have done everything to promote harmony, but it looks as if there are some of them who do not live in Zango-Kataf now. They are outside and calling the shots. This sort of thing is not going to help us. The West Bank experience has shown that if a delicate problem like this is not handled properly, future generations will continue to play the cat and mouse game, and that will affect progress. So my recipe for permanent peace and progress is for us to forget our differences. Wherever their ancestors might have come from, they, the present generation, were born and bred there. They have no other home. And the Kataf people have accepted them as such. I am one of those, and I have been promoting it. The idea of asking for a chiefdom in the middle of another chiefdom is a recipe for confusion. In the Muazu's report, signed 7 years ago, all the things that needed to be done for permanent peace to return on page 66 were drawn up, including the district headship for them you are talking about, including the location of our chiefdom headquarters in Zango, which has been cited so wisely that it is 1.5 kilometers away from the old settlement, so that they don't feel threatened. So the idea of buffer zone will not help anybody. The Berlin Wall, after many years, collapsed. You can't segregate human beings. I love what the Honorable Chairman of Youth Commission has said. We must see ourselves as Nigerians. The Hausa people in Zango-Kataf town are in Kataf land. They are our blood relations, but they have never accepted us as such. For the Fulani, the Fulanis live on our farms, and my neighbors are Fulani. So I appeal to them to forget the differences. Let's go back home, sit down, and implement the Muadi report, and permanent peace will return.
My Lord, I'm sorry if we may be guided properly. This 1 hour time I have, I'm a little bit confused.
Have you finished?
Because he's one of the petitioners.
Have you finished? Well, let him finish his process.
He's one of the petitioners. Guide me whether...
No, it doesn't affect yours. He's his own.
Okay, I've just taken time.
What he's saying doesn't affect your time, no. You still have your 30 minutes.
Yes. So we, the elders, are ready to embrace everybody. Fulani, Chawe, Hausa, Atiap, Baju, Marwa, Agwarok. And this is what is happening. People go to places either to pursue business or happiness. There are Kataff people in Zaria, in Kano, and they identify with the communities there in order to facilitate the achievement of their mission. The problem of some of our Hausa people in Zango town is that they discriminate against their neighbors, and this cannot work. So we are blood brothers. Let us fuse together. Why do we marry our daughters if you don't like us? And you have never given us even one of yours. We don't mind, because the Etiap people are generous.
Have you asked?
Thank you, sir.
That's Lord, maybe the general wants a new wife. That's all.
You want to take one? Take this.
Yes. If that's the case then, so that we can urge them to intermarry. Why don't you give them your daughters?
Wannan kake so. Shine wannan.
Oh, yes.
This one contains.
Incidentally, they have not come to Taraba, my Lord.
No. If we are finished with him, then he can go and then you play your tape.
Yes, my Lord.
Oh, you finished with him? All right. Thank you very much.
My best friends in Jankasa
Chief
are
Ajay.
Fulani.
Chief Ajay, any re-examination? None. Thank you very much, General.
Thank you,
But
my Lord.
you still have the responsibility of bringing peace to that area.
I will do my best, my Lord, in conjunction.
He said that
with
is why
everybody's.
God saved your life.
Yes, my Lord.
But just on another point, somebody came here from the River State and said they were locked up in General Lekwot cell. Have you got a cell there?
No, my Lord.
Named after you?
Not that I know of, my Lord.
All right then.
Please, can you play that?
Thank you, my Lord.
My Lord, I want
All right.
the representative, please stop that thing to come in while we show it, and then I'll just go.
We want them to reconcile.
Shall I go or I stay?
Let him finish, and let's see whether they will reconcile, my Lord.
All right then. Thank you very much, General.
Thank you, my Lord.